Did you know that your brake fluid deteriorates over time and can affect your brake performance? This is because moisture finds its way into the brake fluid, which will make your brakes less effective or, in the worst case, brake failure. There's a recommendation to change your brake fluid every 2 years, but it's often overlooked. The first thing you'll notice is spongy, unresponsive brakes. It's normally a job you can't do alone, but keep watching and I'll show you exactly how to do it with this special tool that you can find the link to in the description. And before we start, we're gonna test the brake fluid, and I know it's not been changed on this car for a while, so we open this lid with this special tool that measures moisture in the brake fluid. We just put this in here and press on, and we can see that it goes up to the red one instantly. So we really need to change this brake fluid. So this tool is a vacuum pump which you can use to push or suck. Included in the kit are 2 pipes, 2 containers, perfect for things like bleeding the brakes. And one side goes to the car and the other one goes to the pump. It also comes with lots of adapters to fix the pipe to different things like brake nipples, for example. A really nice tool to have in the garage, which you can find linked in the description. We'll start by sucking out the brake fluid in the reservoir using the pump. Put one of the pipes in here. Take one of the containers and put the O-ring in place on the top and connect it to the pipe. It even says on the lid which side goes to the pump. Give it a little test. You can suck or push air, so give it a pump with your thumb over the end and I can feel that it's pushing out air. Push forward this part and it will switch to sucking. You can see now on the gauge that instead of positive pressure, it's now negative. I'll just swap this to a shorter pipe as it will be easier. Put the pipe into the brake fluid reservoir and pump. I just emptied out the first load and now I'm going to suck out the rest. I've sucked it out as much as I can here, so I can top it back up with fresh brake fluid. This is .4 brake fluid. You might need .5 on newer cars, so make sure you check. You can see here which one we need, and it's .4. Let's see if I can do this without spilling any. Well, that went well. I didn't spill almost anything. So there is back up to max in the reservoir. While you're draining the brake fluid, you'll need to keep checking so the level never drops too low. The reservoir is divided on the inside, so when you fill it, the fluid will flow into the other parts of it, so make sure it's properly filled. And now we're ready to start getting new fluid into the rest of the brake system. Normally when you bleed brakes, you want to start from the furthest away from the reservoir, but now we're just changing the brake fluid so it doesn't matter too much. I'll start here at the rear right, go to the rear left, the front right, and last, the front left. Let's begin. We start by removing the cap on the bleed screw. I've got this special tool, and as you can see it's open on one part, so you can get a better grip on these kind of screws and also the brake hoses. Once the screw is loosened, I can use a smaller tool to open the bleed screw. I've used the C adapter on the hose, and the pump is set to vacuum. I'll pump a little pressure and maintain it the whole time the bleed screw is open. I can see that the fluid is a bit cloudy, but I've seen worse. Now I'll empty this and go to the next. But before that we put the little cap on here. Before we do the next one, we'll check and refill the reservoir again. I've done both the back, so now we repeat the process here in the front. Make sure the bleed screw opens up, put the adapter on it, pump up the pressure and open the screw.
So normally to do this you would have someone that sits and pumps the brakes and holds them to push the brake fluid through the system. So instead with this vacuum pump you can suck it out and do it by yourself. So now you got no excuse to not change your brake fluid.
It's a bit much here in the bottle, but around 60 milliliters is enough to get all the old brake fluid out of the pipe and hoses.
And when you're done, you top the container up and then it's ready to go. So this little test pen, the vacuum pump and the brake fluid, you can find linked in the description down below. If you want to watch another video from us, click up here.